Ryan. He is in charge of the master's degree program in servant leadership from Thibideau College, and he has generously agreed to share his heart with us today. So please give him a warm Chippewa Valley welcome, Tom Thibideau.
Thank you, Keith, and thank you to all of you for inviting me here today. It's a privilege to be able to speak with all of you. And thank you, Keith, for making that introduction short. See, I hate it when you go in and people start going on and on about a speaker. Have you been to those kind of speakers? And after a while, it begins to sound like a eulogy. Well, which isn't bad, you know, because your funeral is one of the best days of your life. We only miss it by a few hours. Now, there's three guys up in northern Minnesota, and they're going to a conference, and they're driving down the highway, and a big white-tailed buck jumped out in front of them. They swerved to miss, and bam, right into a tree. Instantly, they're all killed. The next moment, they find themselves standing in front of St. Peter. St. Peter said, listen, you guys, he said, I watched it all. It's a terrible tragedy. Terrible. But I want to let you know I already checked my book. You're all here for eternity. But you never had a chance to say goodbye to the people that you loved. You never had a chance to hear what other people had to say about you. Said the first guy, what do you want to say about you when they walk by your casket? He says, I hope they remember I was a teacher. I knew how to love and teach kids. He said, oh, that's great. Said the second guy, what do you want to say about you when they walk by your casket? He said, hope they remember I was a social worker. I stood up and spoke for people who couldn't speak for themselves. He said, oh, that's marvelous. Said the third guy, he said, what do you want to say about you when they walk by your casket? He said, I hope somebody looks in there and says, hey, look, he's moving. See, one of the interesting things about leading with power is that you're moving. You're moving. You're helping to change the world each and every day. John 3:16. I tell you what, you watch the Packer game on Saturday night, you'll see some crazy guy in the fans. Out of 35,000 people, there'll be one guy with a sign, John 3:16. God so loved the world. God so loved the world. God so loved the world. The world is God's enterprise. And God sent you and I in order to serve that world, the people of God's world, in order to make the world a better place. High levels of expectations. But wouldn't you want to be called to high levels of expectations? Do you want to know something? Nobody will commit themselves to a vision that's not compelling. Do you think that Mike McCarthy came in July and said to those guys, listen, you guys, we were 15-1 last year in the regular season. Come on, let's go out there and be 6-10. I think that 6-10 was within our reach. What would you say to that? How ridiculous! Then why would we want to serve in any other way other than we want to enhance and enlarge and enrich the lives of other people? See, you and I have the capacity each and every day to make other people's lives better. What have you done this morning to improve the lives of other people? Which of us is not capable? See, one of the interesting things is all of our lives are predicated and built in the service of other people. I teach at Thibideau University. I've been there for 29 years. I am so happy to have a job. I am so grateful that I have employment, that I love the opportunity to teach other people's children each and every day. And 29 years ago, I realized who my boss was, and my boss might be one of you. And certainly my boss is your boss. See, my boss, I believe, was a farmer in Arcadia, Wisconsin. My boss got up at 4 o'clock this morning, went out to his barn to milk. My boss will be out in his field, in his barn all day long, making sure he's got crop and feed for his animals tonight. He'll be out in his barn tonight at 7 o'clock when it's maybe 25 degrees. He was out in his barn in July when it was 100 degrees. He'll be out there if it's 10 below sometime this winter. And then my boss takes the money from his milk check and he pays his taxes. And he pays insurance, and then he pays tuition for his son or daughter to become a Thibideau graduate. And I ask myself each and every day, is my effort worthy of that man's sacrifice? And you begin to recognize that the way in which we lead today is by serving other people. Serving other people. See, there's a real difference, isn't there, today, between those people who go to an organization, an institution, and a community to serve, and those people who go in order to be served. There's a real difference between servant leaders and those who are self-serving leaders. Jesus knew this. And that's why he said the greatest among us has to be a servant. Dr. Martin Luther King writes this: everybody can be great because everybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and your verb agree to serve. You don't have to know about Plato and Aristotle to serve. You don't have to know Einstein's theory of relativity to serve. You don't have to know the second theory of thermodynamics and physics to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. A heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. Which of us is not capable of that?